Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, and thank you for joining in. Good morning to everybody. Let me see if my producer is up so I can text. I will do this live feed not only in Spanish, but also I will do it in. I'm doing it in English right now, but I'm not going to do it also not only in YouTube, but I will do it on Facebook. Also, I'm going to do this live feed on Facebook. This is actually what has been happening for a lot of years. Now Americans are catching up, and a lot of mainstream media are catching up to this. And this is nothing new for me. I have been saying this for quite some times, and the people that they have been following me for longest of time, they know that I have been saying this for a lot of years now. A lot of years. And a lot of people get mad with me. They get upset of things that I say. But it is a reality. It's what is happening. It's what has been happening for the longest of time. Good morning to everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Bottleneck News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. If you guys would like to hit that like button, hit that bell button at the top, and also share this video so we can get more people on the live feed. I'm having these discussions with you on the car before I go to somewhere else or before I do my duties in the morning. I'm taking a couple of days off, not traveling, and it was a really exhausting trip. So let us get right into it. So as I was talking to you guys in a live video yesterday, I was telling you how corporate America, it is affecting our countries, third world class countries, and a lot of people were getting upset. And they were getting, basically mad because they were saying, well, we're providing jobs, yes, but you're enslaving the international capitalism. And it is a reality. If you check the prices of corporate America in America, instead of the prices in Mexico, I put an example as a Western bacon cheeseburger from Carl's Jr., it is exactly the same price. And how are you paying the workers 300% less in Mexico when you're paying 300% up in the United States? It is kind of like being a bully with international economy. This has a lot to do with how United States citizens that they're coming to live here in Mexico illegally because they don't have a permit, they don't have a work permit, they don't have a permanent visa. They don't have a permission to live over here. They are living over here. And they're living over here, the term illegal. No, I don't like to use that term. I don't like that word. But it's a term that I will like to use now. They're living over here undocumented and with not the proper paperwork to live over here. Why Mexico is allowing it? Because basically it brings the dollar, and the power of the dollar, what it's doing to us, it is that because of this mass migration of people from California coming and live in the borders like Tijuana, or people from the other side of the spectrum, that is the United States, coming to live over here in our country of Mexico, now you see an inflation of prices in our country of Mexico. Sadly, it is a reality, and it is inflating our economy in Mexico. It is inflating the economy for the average Mexican citizen that cannot even afford a daily base life. Just for you guys to understand how much it is the low income salary per day in Mexico. It is 170 pesos per day. That is almost $7 a day that a Mexican makes in a low minimum wage. That is his weekly income. That is his daily income. Now imagine, divide that 170 pesos, and I will divide that right now, 170 pesos per day and I will divide it for 8 hours. That is an 8-hour shift. It is 21 pesos with 25 cents. 21 pesos with 25 cents. It is around $1 and fraction per hour. That is how much people are making over here. And imagine if you're making that and you have an inflation of a U.S. citizens that they're coming to live over here undocumented into our country of Mexico, and you're spending your capitalist dollar that you're making out over there, that you're making $10, $12, $13 an hour, and you're coming over here and you're wasting a lot of your economy, your American economy over here. The study by social economists over here in our country, in our city of Tijuana, have demonstrated that the dollar is more predominant than the peso. So actually, when they see that the dollar is more predominant than the peso, the prices start going up. That means rent, it is being rented in dollars. That means that a lot of places are paying in dollars and they're converting it to pesos. That means that all these prices on the main goods, that is milk, that is eggs, that is frijol, that is beans, that is rice, all of this, it is going up because of the inflation of the dollar. So you have a lot of undocumented Americans that they're coming to live in Mexico because of the way of life. It is more cheaper. It is more, it is less stressful than to live in California. The life in California, it is unlivable. You cannot live in California anymore. It is a 2-bedroom apartment. It is $1,800 a month, $1,600 a month. Plus add the fact that you had to pay a car. That is the $500, $600 car payment with insurance. Now plus add the fact that if you have, if you have not only that, if you have, and debt of college debt, if you have that, and if you have a, Best Buy payment, whatever payment you have, they are trying to make the life in California to just one social class. It is a communist state now. It is a communist state. It is just for one particular social class in the poor people. That's why you have a lot of people that there are homeless. A lot of people that there have homeless people. And, it is a reality. It is a reality that because homelessness has become non-affordable to live in California. And it is really expensive to live in California. So, because if it is really expensive to live in California, a lot of people are coming to live over here in Tijuana. Now, let me tell you another thing. This was on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson told everybody this is a mass migration from Americans into Mexico. It is a reality, and I will tell you why. The line, and you can actually see this, the vehicle line to cross to the United States of America, it was before 1 hour, 2 hour waiting line in the morning to go to work. So a lot of people that they are waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they used to enter their job at 7 o'clock in the morning. They used to be at the line at 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 hour line, and then they were there. Now, the line to cross from Mexico to the United States is 4 hours to 5 hours per day. 4 hours to 5 hours per day to cross to the United States of America. This is why you have now groups of people that they're renting in one apartment, a lot of groups of people that they're renting in one apartment in the United States of America. Or a lot of people are crossing walking, and the line to cross walking is to 3 to 4 hours also. So imagine 3 to 4 hours standing in line to cross walking into the United States of America. It is a reality. A lot of Americans are migrating to Mexico to look for the cheap life, but it's affecting the average Mexican because we cannot afford what the average American makes. The average American makes, let's say, a low income $9 to $10 an hour, and minimum wage $10 to $13 an hour. And if the average American that has a good job makes between $15 to $18 an hour, that is a good way of life in Mexico. That is around $700 to $800 a week. That is a great life in Mexico. So you cannot, with $700 and $800 a week, you cannot live in California. I'm sorry, but you can't. In California, you have to make between $1,000 to a little bit more upper than $1,000 to live in San Diego, California, or to live in California. And everybody has to work. The mom has to work, the dad has to work, the son has to work to provide for the house so they can live. It is a really different life when you have a United States economy brought to Mexico. But the problem right here is that because of that, you're inflating our economy. A thing that I have been saying for years now, but a lot of people in the live feed get upset. They get mad. They start saying, "Oh, Oscar, you don't understand." Now, and the typical average ignorant response that they're saying, and I hate this kind of response, but they're always saying, "Now you're getting a taste of it. Now you know how it feels." All these kind of responses are animosity. They're always, "Oh, now you know how it feels, so take that." How retarded you are. If you're that kind of individual, don't comment, please. Because that is a retarded answer. I'm just basically saying those answers do not provide a solution. Now, if this is what it looks like. So the United States is all for legal migration, right? How do you think that it looks on the United States citizens, that they're living over here undocumented? Because a lot of them, they're Hispanics. So they're crossing back and forth every day. There's no passport checkup when you're driving back in a vehicle from the United States of America into Mexico. Nobody's checking your passport. If you're walking, they're checking sometimes. Where are you going? I'm going to Mexico to visit my mom and my dad. It is exactly what a lot of Mexicans have been doing when they're crossing with the tourist visa. That they're crossing over there and they're working without being properly documented, and they're working underneath the table, and they are cutting also the wages of cheapening the man labor. You got your average Juan, that Juan says, "I will cross the border with a tourist visa and I will work and I will do that job for $500 when the average American is charging $1,000. So you are lowering down the man labor because you know that they are not going to be eligible. You're not eligible to get paid with a documented Social Security. So this is what irregular migration will do. It affects the economies. It affects economies. It affects economies. And a lot of people are saying without paying taxes. I'm sorry, but they are paying taxes. I'm sorry, but they are. Not in a documented way. Yes, you're right. Not in a documented way. They're not under the IRS. But when they go to the store, they pay taxes. Pay food taxes. When they go put gasoline, they put gasoline taxes. When they pay the rent, they pay rent taxes. The United States of America depends on that. That is the ghost tax. The one that you don't see, the one that the government of the United States of America does not report to the citizens, the one that they make a lot of trillions of dollars underneath the table and they don't report that, the one that corporate America, it is making a lot of millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, but they don't give nothing back to the social class. That ghost tax, it is the one that they're making out of undocumented individuals that they're not reporting on the IRS. There's a really stupid comment right here. Oscar, why don't you say all of this on Steve Bannon's show? Wow. Well, like that is going to change. Say your true feelings. I have always said this if you're a new watcher, so possibly you're not accustomed to me. If you are a new follower, accustomed to this, I have always said this. Right now, you're taking your frustration on us Americans. Stop with your pandering. Stop with that stupid pandering ideology. Stop with that. I'm not this guy that is going to pander, and I'm not this guy that is going to be sweeping your feet and talking nicely to you. I'm not this guy. I have talked to this way since I started broadcasting. Since I started doing live feeds in English, this has been 4 years now. I have talked this way all my life. And if Mexicans are making a big mess, I always go at it. And if Americans are doing a bad thing, I always go at it. If Republicans are messing up, I always go at it. And if Democrats are messing up, I always go at it. If you don't like it, get out. I have always expressed my true feelings in Steve Bannon with Mr. Steve Bannon. I have humongous respect for that man, and we have a lot of things that we have a lot of things in common. Why do I have to bring this up? And that is not even the topic. Who in the hell are you to tell me what to say and what not to say? So, this is the cruel reality when it comes to this situation right here. The situation is that irregular migration, this is what it brings. It brings a lot of unstableness in terms to economies. As for undocumented individuals arriving to the United States of America, it is bringing a lot of also a lot of inflation. Not only that, but the United States is spending a lot of money on undocumented individuals and then paying a lot of money out of taxes and every year. The state that pays more taxes for undocumented individuals per year, it is Arizona, that pays a lot. It pays a little bit upper than $350 million per year. $350 million per year. Now, when it comes to Mexicans, the thing that in Mexico happens is that Americans are inflating our economy, which means that our lifestyle, it is not, there's a really accurate comment right here that particularly, all the people that they're in this life, if they're agreeing with me, only, one troll right here. Companies used in the U.S. moved to Mexico in the 90s due to cheaper labor in Mexico. It was 75% cheaper than the U.S. Thank you so much. That has to do a lot with a corporate America, and also not only that, of how housing in Mexico is, in Tijuana in particular, in the city that I live in, it is going up like you don't even imagine. Our prices are unaffordable. They're only affordable to one social class, and it is that social class that makes that capital money that is affordable for that particular living. It is affecting us. Yes, it is affecting us. Whether you like it or not, if your feelings get hurt, I'm sorry. If you get butt hurt, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the way it is. A lot of people get butt hurt, like this viewer right now. That immediately, why don't you tell these kind of feelings and Steve Bannon, huh? I challenge you to do it. Oh my. This is the kind of comments. So Tucker Carlson today, Tucker Carlson today was saying something that is really important. These kind of comments right here are really important. This one, it says, companies in the U.S. moved to Mexico in the 90s due to cheaper labor in Mexico, and it was 75% cheaper than the U.S. Yes, Ford, Chevrolet, Mazda, all this, and there's somebody right here saying business also goes to Mexico because they don't have all the environmental regimen. You're incorrect. And I will tell you that bovine sponge form, it is more strict over here to get an environmental permit than in the U.S. It is way more strict over here to get an environmental permit for the U.S. And I was part of this, trying to help a Korean company which I used to work for, that they used to move a lot of hazmat material, that it was motors from Hyundai. International companies, man labor. This is why I know. And they used to drop a lot of oil. So the environmental department came over here, and it was so strict. And well, not according to my research. Search correctly, please. And it is really difficult, extremely difficult, to get a permit over here to start a company. It depends on territorial, depends on what you're moving, depends on what kind of product are you importing or exporting. But no, it's way more difficult over here in Mexico to get that. I'm sorry, but it is. This is you and Steve will have a respectful conversation about issues because you respect each other. It will be to be screaming match people think. No. It's a reality. This is why irregular migration affects economies. It is not only people get hurt because I'm talking about Americans coming to live over here undocumented into Mexico. I'm sorry, it is a reality. It is a reality. And irregular migration affects economies. It's not only just the United States, it is Mexico also affecting our country, affecting in an irregular fashion to the United States of America. Look what is happening to the United States. There's a lot of irregular migration into the United States of America. And now you're seeing a mass migration because of communist California not handling correctly the economy, and you're inflating the other country's economy. Steve Bannon has said so, that this Biden administration is going to destroy Mexico. He said it multiple times with me on that live feed, doing a live feed with him. He said multiple times, the Biden administration is going to completely take down Mexico. And this is what actually I'm talking about. That every person that migrates undocumented or irregular, it brings to one different, it's affecting economies, and it's inflating the economies. And in terms to Americans coming to live over here, your economy is way much stronger than Mexican economy. So you're spending average dollar over here on a day-to-day basis. So a study was done, and the study says that the more predominant coin right here in Mexico, in the border of Tijuana, it is the dollar. It is not the peso. So by that, it tells you that the most fluid economy and most predominant economy, the economy that is in this border, it is the dollar, it's not the peso. So by that, the inflation starts going up. And you got corporate businesses like corporate America, that is Walmart, Carl's Jr., Burger King, Subway, all these places where they make more than 300% in our country. But the only exchange that we get, it is the exchange of jobs. When I'm bringing you capitalist jobs, yes, they're enslaving capitalist jobs, because these enslaving capitalist jobs, how inflated is the peso? Per dollar, I think it is 20 pesos a dollar. 20 pesos a dollar right now. You're enslaving capitalist jobs because these jobs, they are not making what an average business in the United States of America makes. So you are actually taking advantage of your capitalism in a foreign country. You're making 300% more. This has to do a lot with the international economy. This is why I have been saying for the longest time, Joe Biden is the most incompetent president in terms to international affairs. And I said this before 2 years ago. I don't think some are actually listening to what you're saying. Affects economies, as in both countries. They're hearing economy as only one. Exactly. Thank you so much. Irregular migration affects economies all across the places that they're migrating irregularly. And look what is happening to Central and South America. And now it is happening to Mexico also. As Americans are migrating to Mexico, and the inflation starts to happen. What do you think? An average Mexican that makes 170 pesos per day is going to be eligible to make what an American makes in the United States of America? Is never going to happen. So what you're doing is replacing people's lives, and you're going to create more homelessness, as what is happening in California. What is happening in California, it is basically a lot of homeless people because they cannot even afford to live in California. It is a communist state. It only for one social class, the 1% and the other ones are exactly the same. Because we live to California, it is almost exactly the same relatively. We relate to each other a lot to what is happening in California and what is happening in Mexico. Tucker Carlson, go and watch Tucker Carlson, what he said. Mass migration, this is how he described it. Mass migration of Americans going into Mexico to live. This is what Tucker Carlson said. Mass migration of Americans going over here to live. A lot of Americans that they live over here, they were born in the United States, but they have Mexican parents. So they have lived all their lives over here. All their lives they had lived over here. All their lives. It's not like they haven't lived here for, you know, they're just new people living here. No, they have lived over, they have their families over here. They have all these people living over here. But because of that, they work in the United States, but they live in Mexico. But they don't have actual documents to provide to say I'm a Mexican citizen or I have a resident to live in Mexico. We're talking about law and order. We are for law and order, right? Supposedly. We are for legal migration, supposedly. We are for respecting sovereign nations, supposedly. Mexico is a sovereign country. A lot of people intend to forget that. A lot of people intend to forget that. So, I'm just explaining what is actually happening. One person got butthurt right here, but I'm not putting attention to that. Putting attention to people's comments that they're actually reflecting and saying, oh, you know what? International economies and corporate businesses are moving to other countries, to foreign countries, because of the cheap man labor. What does that mean? That over here is more cheaper and you're going to pay less cheaper, but you're going to make 300% more? Is that fair? Is that fair? I don't think that is fair. I think that every person needs to be valued for themselves, and every country has the opportunity to become a first-class world country. But when you have these companies, these globalist companies, these monopolies, just implementing a system and a social class, you're never going to grow. Capitalism needs to expand more. I have said this before. They need to expand more. Expand more what? Spend, man. Spend. Spend on la materia prima, on the man labor. Spend on them and reflect on them. All right, guys, I'm about to leave. God bless you. I got 5 minutes to leave. So it has been nice talking to you guys. I will do a live feed about explaining this. I will do a live feed explaining this. And I will do an example on a live feed. I will have a price of a Western bacon cheeseburger or a combo number 1 from Carl's Jr. And I will stop by to buy one. And as I'm buying one, I will tell you this is how much it is in the United States and this is how much it is in Mexico. Do you think that is fair? That this person right here that is on a counter, how much it's making in comparison to what the other one is making in the United States. So how much this best corporate business is making out of foreign aid, out of foreign economy. The problem, there's a lot of problems, and one of these problems it is how these globalist monopolies, they're implementing their slavery of business into other countries. Stay safe. God bless you all. Follow me at every platform. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. Follow Ben Bearcroft, Florida, America. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, peace and love. Because always, your country's first. God bless.